for coming to What Happens in This House Stays in This House, Strength Over Silence podcast. I am your host, Tammy Montgomery Dozier. I want to thank you guys again for listening. So this week, I'm like super excited. I have my family on here. You know, before y'all listen to my granddad, my 97-year-old granddad, talk about, you know, his life. But now I have his children. I mean, you guys are going to enjoy it. It's going to be awesome. So this is how I want to do. I want you all to say your name and age from the oldest to the youngest and kind of fill in the gaps of the one who's not here. So who's the first one that's going to talk? Who's the oldest? Uh-huh. And how old are you?
76.
All right. Who's next?
Jose.
And how old is Jose?
74.
79.
All right. Who's next?
Ed.
James Anderson.
James.
Brother Rock. We call him Brother Rock.
All right. And how old is he?
72.
Okay. Next.
Charles Anderson. 69. Ooh, I'm trying to get 70 already.
Next.
Dorothy. Next is Dorothy. I'm 67 years old.
All right. And who is next?
It'll be Ricky.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Rick.
Rick. Yeah. I don't know how old Rick is.
He's 61, ain't he? 61.
Yeah.
61.
Next.
And that's me, Vida. And
All
I'm
right.
59.
And next.
And next one is Tom. I'm 53.
Wow. The baby. All right. So it is 8 of y'all. That is a beautiful thing. 8 of y'all in this family. And it is so good to see your faces. I haven't seen some of you guys in a while. So what was it like growing up in a house full of 8 kids? What was it like?
It was
great. Yeah, it was good.
Good.
But the thing is, when we was living on the farm, it was only 7.
Okay, so who was the one that was not there?
Me.
Tom.
Oh, so he wasn't born yet.
He wasn't born.
Right. And we lived in house, I think it was, the 4 boys had one room and the 3 girls had one room. It wasn't a big house.
Okay. So what did you guys do every day?
Work in the field.
I did. All right. No problem. So what did you guys pick? Or tell me what it was like in this new generation where we don't know anything about hard labor. So what did y'all do?
Well, then the first thing we did, we once the chitin was planted, we had to chop it.
Okay.
Okay, and we did that like from 6 o'clock to 6 o'clock. We had to work.
So let me ask y'all this. So when I talked to Granddaddy before, he said that he grew up on a plantation. Was this the same place where he was born?
No.
So this is somewhere totally different.
Yeah. He was renting a farm from another person, a lady.
And what town was this in?
Goodman.
It was still in Goodman? Okay.
Yes,
it was in the country, but it was across the river from the town by 8 miles.
Okay. So give me something else. What else was it like?
Well, we had chores to do every morning. Some of us milked the cow, some of us fed the hog, and some of us went to get water.
Yeah, some of us had to cut wood.
Yeah, so once we get the chores done, we would go to the field, start chopping cotton that we was close to the house. About 8 o'clock in the morning, we would come back to the house and eat breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
And
so did y'all always have breakfast? Did y'all go to school after all of that?
Well, then, we went to school, but not then. That was in the summertime. We had to work all summer.
Okay.
And first 2 or 3 weeks of school. So once we did all our chores, then we went to the field. And then I remember we used to come home at noon and eat people call it lunch now, but we really ate our biggest meal at noon. And because you had to work in that field, you couldn't go out there half hungry. It was hot out there.
So, it's always a lazy one in the bunch. Who was the lazy one that didn't want to do no work?
Who didn't like we'll put it like who didn't like the field,
Okay.
Charles, he didn't like the field.
He didn't? Okay.
No.
No, the only thing was chopping cotton. I hated chopping cotton.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, all that grass. Got tired of doing that. That's the part I like.
Oh, wow.
I used to stand up and daydream when I ever get out of here.
No, they go down. My dad said, boy, get off. Don't be stand up on that whole handle.
So, Vida, so you were young. So did you do any work at all?
No, I didn't do any cotton until we had moved into the city limit of Goodman. Okay. That was the only time I ever did cotton, and Mama had made me a little bag out of a flour bag. We used to have them big 20 pounds flour, and she made me a bag to pick cotton out of with that. Oh, okay. It was like, what, a flour sack, what they called it?
Yeah.
Well, she used to make our clothes out of the flour sack, too. That's what we had to have clothes made of. We didn't have money to buy clothes, so when we finished the flour, she'd take that material, make us a dress.
Wow. Oh, wow. Yeah.
So, Mom, you don't have anything to add to it?
Well, then, Janie, you have to ask some, cause Hood and Hosey was the two oldest, so I don't know what they did before we came along.
Well, I remember when coming up, I was the oldest one, so I had to take care of the babies all the time. I had to babysit a lot of times. I had to take care of them, and I went to the field too, and pick cotton and chop too. But I was always the one helping Mama with all the kids when I came up.
So how old did y'all begin when y'all started? So you say you babysit. So how old were the kids when they first began to start going into the field?
But as big as when you could get up and walk and big enough to do something, we went to the field. Probably about 7 or 8.
No, I was younger than that. I was 5 years old chopping cotton.
Wow.
Okay. Well, I was 5 years old picking it, so I don't know.
But the different when everything we did, we walked. We didn't ride. We had to walk most everywhere.
Yeah.
We had to walk to the store because then we had a rolling store. We would go and pick blackberries and things and sell it to the rolling store so we could buy things. So they had a store that that it was on wheel.
And collect the chicken eggs, and then we would take them to Daddy would drive us to the store, and we would take the eggs to the store, and we'd get us some cookies and cheese and big ROC. We was happy as two left shoes.
So tell me, by the time you came around, what was it like by the time you were born?
It was good for me. I had a great kid. I was playing for a couple of years. I did down there with Vida pick cotton down at Mayor Mabur house. So
okay.
But growing up, I with Aunt Reen and all them, when they moved over, I was hoeing in their yard, in their garden, and my garden. Dad had 2 or 3 acres, so before we can go play, we had to chop all the peas and butter beans before we can go play basketball.
Okay. So, Granddaddy, you there?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So my question to you is, they said the one that didn't want to do the most work, didn't want to work as hard was Charles. Who do you say it was, Granddaddy?
Well, all of them worked with Charles. He didn't like the farm.
Okay.
I didn't like chopping cotton. I didn't care about that stuff.
He didn't like sometimes when cotton didn't come up good and have skips in it, I give him the bucket with some seeds to plant the skips, and he would go bear them. He's always wondering what I plant all this cotton for.
He didn't like
So, Granddaddy, I have a question for you. Who was your baddest child?
Well, none of them was too bad. Nothing like that.
Who was the one that had the hardest head? Didn't want to.
Hard head, yeah.
Well, none of them didn't have no hard head. All of them.
I think the sisters and brothers would disagree. Who do y'all say?
Mom had the hardest head, but y'all just didn't like farming. That's all.
Okay.
Sure.
No, the brother Ed, Daddy know that he would go and get in the car and go off, and he wouldn't know where he was at.
So did Ed work at all? Well, he just.
Oh no, he didn't mind. He would work. He didn't mind working. He just liked to do other stuff that the rest of us know we shouldn't be doing.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, he would get in the car and go out to his friend's cousin's house, and Daddy wouldn't know where he was with the car.
Okay. So do y'all have any like funny kind of stories that happen on the farm or anything y'all can tell?
Well, yeah, one story, we used to be in the field way back up in the woods.
Uh-huh.
We'd be coming home at dark, and we would always hear something in the woods. And so one night, Hose and Ed, we was walking down through there, and they said they heard a panther. And they said he was coming out the woods. They started running. And they said, "You better come on, he's going to get you." I got scared, and I passed both of them. Oh, those are some of the things we used to do.
Tell about the snake falling out the ceiling.
Oh, yeah. We used to be in the bed in there, and then the snake be crawling around in that wallpaper, and one fell out one night on the bed. We were in the bed.
What did y'all do?
We ran.
Wow.
It was old chicken snake.
So my next question is, so you guys were born in the South, and during that time, although there wasn't slavery, there was still racism. Did you guys experience any of that, and what can you share?
Well, actually, when we were living in the country, we didn't too much have any of that.
Okay.
We stayed on the farm, and we got to go to town about once a week, maybe. And so we didn't have too much problem with that. The only thing it is, when we would go to town, it was kind of strange that they used to have the water fountain, the color, and the white.
Mm-hmm.
And so we didn't know that much about all that stuff, because we were kind of shielded from it by being on the farm.
Okay.
And we kind of just stayed away from everything. And the first time I started learning about it when I moved to town.
Okay.
So that was when we first started. But we never really had any problem, because people know Daddy and his family, and they kind of, did what they were supposed to, and everybody was taught to say yes sir, no sir, and stay out of trouble, not my fault, and do stuff like that. So we didn't have that much problem with that when we were coming up.
Anybody else want to share anything?
Yes, I want to say that coming up, we did things, we had to do it right. We just couldn't go and do things halfway. My mother, once I had bought some clothes, and I had hung a sheet on the fence, and it had a big spot in it. And she made me take the sheet off the fence and go and wash it again. And we always had to clean under the house with brushes and things on the yard. We had to clean the yard because my mama said if the yard was dirty, the house looked dirty. So we always had to do all the cleaning around the house, no paper or nothing. The house wasn't that great, but everything was clean in there. She was always on us to do what's right. She always instilled us in that to treat people right.
Do you think that's what we lacking today? Like the world and the kids and the respect? Do you think that we've come a long way from the way you guys were raised?
Yeah, that's right. I'm a mighty long way.
What you said, Dad?
I said we come a mighty long way.
But the difference is, Tammy, when we moved to town, people wasn't as strict with their kids as what we were used to, because we were taught to respect everybody.
Okay.
And
That's right.
and if it was an elderly person, it didn't make no difference who it was, whether it was white, black, whatever. We already respect them and said yes sir, no sir. And Mama used to preach that to her, and she used to tell us why we did that, because of what Jesus said in the Bible about treating people right. And also by doing that, you kind of stay out of trouble.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because I can say probably none of y'all ever been in trouble with anything. As far as I know, I've never heard of anything, any stories that, all of y'all retired, living good. So you pretty much had a really good life. So what do y'all want to tell me about Grandma? She's not here with us today. What are the fondest memories you have of Miss Annie Lou?
Cooking, eating, family together.
Well, I remember when we was living in the country, and every Saturday morning she had all of these what they call crook patches that had vegetables in them, and she needed someone to go up and plow them or clean them up. And I used to race to do that for her, because when I get through that morning, by 12 o'clock, I come back to the house, she would always give me a quarter. And I know the rolling stone was coming that next week. So I made sure I did that for her. And she always, rewarded for when you just volunteered and did stuff. And whatever little bit she had, if it was a dime or a nickel, she would make sure you got something.
That's right.
And she was always like that with people too, because when we moved over to in town where they are now, in the same house, she was used to tell us these people would get off the train. Now, back in the day, they were called hobos, but today they call homeless. Okay. But she would tell us if they come by, feed them, but don't let them come in the house. So she would always take care of everybody.
Wow. Anybody else? Good memories?
Well, and for me, she was when I was the baby, so she spoiled me. So
Mm-hmm.
I remember one day when we was at the table and everything, and I was very picky about eating. So Daddy trying to make him eat some vegetables, and she said, "James, leave him alone."
Yeah, we didn't get that luxury.
But if anything I wanted, when the preachers came over on Sundays, she hid my food, put it up, and I get to eat what I want. But I know a lot of them, they said they had to wait on the preachers to eat before they get their food. But I was the lucky one. I got what I wanted.
Yes, that's right. That's right, Tammy. Because it was a long time. I thought the chicken only had a wing and a leg.
Really?
And that was the only piece I liked. She used to always put me a wing up when the preacher came over, because she knew that was the only piece of chicken I would eat was wings. I wouldn't eat nothing else. She would always put me some to the side, because she knew that was the only thing I would eat.
Yep. What can y'all tell me about great grandma, Miss Lily McAtee, and her husband? I got a chance to meet great grandma, but I never got a chance to meet Pawpaw.
Well, then, when they moved to town, the year before they moved to town, I moved to town with Grandma and Papa. And I stayed with them for a year before Daddy them moved to town. And he always used to teach me things, because I remember he taught me how to tell time when I was a little fella. And he would sit and talk to you and tell you some of the stories and stuff. And by where he came from, up around McAdam, and his dad was a white man. I remember him telling me that. And grandmama, when I lived with them, grandmama always made sure you had a piece of meat, some cornbread, and some type of vegetable. And that was all in the house, so you had to eat it.
All right, anybody else?
When I was growing up, I didn't know my granddaddy that well because I was probably 3 or 4 before he passed away. But the good memories of grandmama, she was always had food down there, and I can go down there and get whatever I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Never said no.
Mom, you got something to say?
I just remember grandmama and Marine them always making quilts. They made the most beautiful quilts.
Oh yeah.
And to this day, I still have one. They made great quilts. There's some of the beautiful quilts I ever seen. I remember that very well. Her, Marine, and Mama, they would sit. They have this big old room, and they have things lined up to the ceiling and bring it down every day. They work on it, and they let it back up after they finish. It was neat how they had it. Yeah.
The funniest memory I have of grandma was when I was a little kid and Vida would have dates in that middle room.
Yeah, so
He would whisper to me, go in there and see what they doing. And that is why I am a tattletale to this day. I can't keep nothing because grandma used to take me bust in that room to see what Vida was doing and run back and tell her.
They did that with Tommy too.
Yeah,
Oh, did
she
they?
come and sit in the middle.
she used to go in the refrigerator. She used to come
Yeah, we go sit in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they did. Like, Tammy, you tell everything. Yeah, I do. Listen, I was when I was growing up. I enjoyed going down there, and I enjoyed like just being around my cousins and family. You know, we don't do that like we used to.
Right.
You know, every year in Mississippi, we used to go and hang out and stuff. Do you think that we'll ever get back to that? Do you think that the pandemic is probably helping with some of that, us getting back close to where it used to be?
Yes, I hope so.
Yeah.
Because a lot of you guys don't even know some of your other cousins.
That's true.
Like Ed's son, Earl, he got 9 kids, and I bet you most of y'all don't know it, no one of them.
Yeah.
No, I don't know one of them. I know they well-mannered, but I don't know their names.
I don't know your name, but I know I've seen them all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know their names.
I ain't never seen them all. I only know 3 of them.
I've seen them.
So yeah, we need to do that, and we kind of kept doing that. It's just that everybody couldn't do it at the same time because everybody was always working or something, and we usually couldn't get together like that unless it was a funeral or something.
Mm-hmm. But when we had family reunion, I think they never did come to the family reunion.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was, because you remember we used to have the family reunion, and a lot of the young kids wasn't there.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Everybody working. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Anything else y'all got? Y'all want to share anything about your childhood or what you went through? And, and would you change them? Change any of them?
I thought Janie said something.
I was quiet when I was coming up. I was real quiet and shy.
Were you?
Yeah, me too. I was shy and quiet.
Yeah. And I remember when, hey, Tammy, I remember when Janie used to date, and Dad had built a little room on to the end of the house. And about every hour or so, he'd go and walk up to the door and look in there. And then at 9 o'clock, he'd go in there and he said, y'all know what time it is? And that boy started getting up to get out of there because Daddy didn't play. Go by 9, boy. I know you're married, Janie.
But Janie used to play basketball. She didn't tell him about she played basketball.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah. She was really good.
Yeah, I played basketball my entire high school. Well, I started in elementary, and I played all through high school. And Daddy, I don't think Daddy ever missed a game.
Wow.
Yeah, because Janie was probably one of the best players, but they didn't get no publicity like they get now. She probably should have got a scholarship, but they wasn't giving those to black schools in that time. Oh yeah, and then I played basketball too. I played down at Goodman and Picking.
Okay.
And the first day I went to Goodman and Picking, and Mr. Moore, he's still living, ain't he, Dad?
No,
No, he passed.
Okay.
Oh, he did. Anyway, Mr. Moore, we went to a school in the Delta, and he said, "Boy, can you play basketball?" I said, "Yes, sir." Man, that's the best gang I ever had. Mr. Moe after that, Mr. Moe thought I was the best player he ever coached.
So, Granddaddy, you have anything to say about your kids?
Well, I got to all of them come through for me, and all of them, all of them obeyed and everything. We never had no trouble out of our kids and nothing like that. So all of them, praise up, didn't have no hard time like I had in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was born in 1923 and went to school by about 2 or 3 years. I didn't have a book to read in. My daddy wasn't able to buy me no books because there was 4 or 5 of us going to school together until he had to buy for the girls, and the boys just had to walk along with them.
Oh, that
Yeah.
sucks.
But we stayed in the church though. That's one thing I think they have to. We always, my mom and dad, that's their whole life with the church.
Yeah, we was in church every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
Yeah, when I was away at school down there at Jackson State, I called home crying one weekend because I was like, "Mom, tell Grandma I didn't come down here to go to church." She made me come and go to church every Sunday.
Yeah.
She's like, "Nope, you the only girl," and she would have them come and pick me up and bring me back to Goodman every weekend. I never miss a Sunday, so that is very true.
We couldn't stay home, so we had to go to church.
Yep.
But
wow.
I tell you what, my summers was some of the best summers I ever had because every summer I went to Chicago or Rockford and just being with my brothers and sisters up there when I was growing up, I had some of the best times because I was one of the type people that sit around and watch and listen to everything they say. And that's why I learned how to grill because I just sit there and watch them grill because every weekend, all them Charles or Ed or Hosey, somebody's throwing something on the grill. And
Homer in Chicago.
So who was the first one to leave home?
Janie.
I was the first one to leave. I left home at 19.
Okay.
Went to Chicago. One thing I want to say that at the time, it was 5 of us went at first, and we never got a lot of toys or anything. We always had to share the same thing. And I just think, as you know, we just had a lot of love for one another, and we was happy. We didn't get much, but we were happy.
Yes.
And we didn't pick the food that we wanted to eat. We had to eat whatever Mama prepared. If we didn't eat that, we didn't eat. We didn't have choices, but we still was happy. I think we had a lot of love and still some happy times. We didn't have much. We never went hungry, but we just had some happy times in our life.
That's good. Now, would you guys change any of it? If you had to go back, if to live where you are, if you had to go back and say you grew up in this time that we're in now, would you rather live now or the era that you grew up in?
I would stay in the era that I grew up in.
I don't think I can make the comparison because we were back in those days, people was kind of naive a little bit and they did what they was told. And that was a good era because people was more polite to one another. You didn't have all of the violence we have now. Yeah, people back in those days, they used to fight out in the woods by the church at night when we were having church. I remember that. And but they didn't never mess with the church people though. I don't know why they would be down in the woods at night, but they would. So comparing that, like Jana said, we was happy. And because we always had plenty of food to eat. It just wasn't, we didn't have no snacks now.
Mm.
And maybe when we, on the weekend, go to town, Daddy would get some white bread and bologna.
Yeah.
And we thought that was a treat.
Anybody else? Would you trade it for living in this, for growing up now versus the way you grew up? You didn't have a lot, but would you trade it for what they're doing now?
Yeah.
But right.
Well, I would just like to say it's just like heaven now for what we went through when we were children. We didn't have bathrooms and we didn't have running water. We didn't have bathtub. We had to get in a wash tub to take a bath and all that. So when I was coming up, now I just said, people are so blessed that in these days, but they don't,
appreciate.
Don't appreciate it because they don't know what we came through. Back when I was a kid, my dad and them passed away when I was 6. When I was 15, then I had to take care of my mother, 2 of my grandchildren, and then my brother. And I had
Yeah.
Yeah, they were robbers. No, it wasn't grandchildren, but my nephews, niece, yeah. And I had to take care of my mother, but wasn't no welfare back in those days. And the thing you got, you had to work for it, but nobody gave you nothing. So I said now, in these days, I said people living a life. I don't know.
But they don't seem happy. They don't seem happy.
Happy. No, you don't seem happy.
What?
They're not grateful.
Yeah, I was grateful because we didn't have no bathrooms or nothing like that. We had to go out to our house. I don't care how cold it was, I don't care how hard it was. We didn't have all the luxury that people have. Didn't have no clothes either. We just have one pair Sunday clothes and one pair of wet clothes most of the time when I was coming up.
And the other thing, Tammy, the difference then and back then, people used to go to church and teach their kids. And then we had some around us, they got in trouble and stuff too because the parents didn't teach them. And so it's always been kids getting in trouble. I don't care what area you're in, but they wasn't as bad, people going around when they had no guns. So if they had anything, they had a knife, they might would cut you with that, but it wasn't all this other stuff. And some people didn't teach their kids and go to church and stuff like that. So it's totally different. They might not know how to appreciate things because they ain't never been taught that.
That's right.
And it was a big difference because we didn't have to worry about locking our doors. We would just pull them up and go.
Yeah.
That ain't like that now.
Oh, Lordy.
And people shared too. If they was more grateful and whatever they had, a dozen of eggs, they would divide it. People, if they raised some vegetable, they'll share it with you or you'll share yours. It was more, people were more loving toward each other than now.
Yeah, then we had them ones that didn't have nothing to share. They come and make sure they got something. Because when we kill hogs, we used to see people we hadn't seen for a while.
That was one good thing about mom and dad, though. They would take the shirt off their back and give it to anybody. And that's what we learned from.
Yeah.
That's the difference. That's the difference in us and a lot of other kids, because mom and dad, they showed us how to treat people and do things for everybody. And and that's why we the way we are.
That's true. Very true. All right, y'all. So I have one last question. What legacy do you want the Anderson family to leave behind? What do you want people to know about the Andersons when it's all said and done? What do you want to leave to your kids or to the world? once it's all said and done and we're not here anymore, what do you want to have given out to the world?
Well, I want to be all this love, one love.
Yep.
All right.
That all of the hardworking people, that we all hard workers, and we appreciate each other and family.
Yeah, family
and friends.
And the other thing is, if you stop by our house, you get something to eat.
That's for sure. Yes.
Yep. The most important thing is always do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Try to live.
Mom, what were you about to say?
I was just saying, but the same thing Biden was saying that, just that we tried to treat everybody the same. We didn't have no picks or whatever we could do for anyone, that we would do it. We try to respect everybody.
Yep.
Seemed like when I was growing up, everybody came over to our house.
Yep.
We did.
Yeah. Every weekend we had people come there all during the day, just come there talking, and so.
And Mama gonna offer them something to eat.
Oh yeah, they gonna get something.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I think that's why they came.
Yeah. Yep.
Do y'all ever recall them ever turning anybody away?
No.
Never.
I've never known.
No.
We fed the hobos, I told you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I never heard them say a bad word about anybody. Granddad or grandma, just never bad about anybody. Just
like I said, none of us ever got in trouble with the law or anything.
Yeah.
Nope. I worked in a jail, but never been in one.
Right.
That's right. That's the only place you want to be at.
Yep.
Any last comments y'all want to say? Charles, you want to say something?
Yeah, the thing is that people, if we could tell people today, and especially some of our nephews and things, hard work and treat people right and be polite.
Yep.
Right.
Amen.
Amen. Yes.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being on my show. Another episode of What Happens in This House Stays in This House, Strength Over Silence podcast. I have been your host, Tammy Montgomery Dozier. I can be reached at 773-251-5537 or my website, www.connectedbyloveconsulting.net. Again, thank you guys for listening and have a great one.